What's up, YouTube? This is Uncle Zach, and yes, I'm back. Today's review is over 9 brown bankers for fall. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So I want to start off with Maison Alhambra's Cehck. Now, this is a collection that they came out with. I only have one from this collection, by the way, but this is a collection that is inspired by Dior's collection of bottles that look like this. You know, today's my scent of the day is Dior Ombre Nuit, and it's from that collection. Now, so this one is, of course, by the name Cehck, you know that it's a tobacco fragrance. It's not heavily tobacco. It has a lot of other notes in it, and you can see those on the screen, but it's a little different in the sense that it is a little bit, I don't want to say fresh, but it's not as heavy as your typical, you know, tobacco fragrance. It has some peach in there and some plum, has some honey and some smoke in it, and of course it has a tobacco leaf in there. But you can get the tobacco right off the bat. But again, like I said, it's not a heavy tobacco fragrance, but man, this is a beautiful scent. It's inspired by Toba Color by Dior. And this Maison Alhambra brand is obviously a newer brand, but it's not from a newer company. It's I guess it's an ancillary or a shoot off of Latafa, and so that needs no introduction to you guys. So I'm sure a lot of you know about that brand. But man, these Maison Alhambras are really nice. I'll get into some of those a little later, but this one is definitely one I think you should check out if you can find it, because it's really good. So it's hard to find, and some of the places it's overpriced. So I wouldn't pay probably over $40 for it. If you see it for more than that, then they're kind of gouging prices. So just be aware of that. Now, my scent of the day is one on this list, which is Ombre Nuit by Dior. Now, of course, these in this collection, you have a lot of them that I'm sure some of you guys know about, with the bottle style like this. And this is what is this? This is a smaller bottle, but it's, you know, still up there in price. So I'm just letting you guys know. But now this one is, by the name, I guess you would think amber. And I wouldn't really say that it's just an amber fragrance, because in the top you have some bergamot and grapefruit, and you have a little rose in there, a little pink pepper, and some, you know, ambergris and gaiac wood, cedar and patchouli. So it's really complex, but it's just one of those where it just smells good. You know, it's like, it's really not one thing that stands out over another to me, to my nose. It's just a really nice, classy smelling fragrance. But this is just my scent of the day, and I just threw it in there because you know, it fits the category that, you know, my brown bottles, and it's just really nice, man. So again, you guys that have this, you know, you can comment on it, but check this out if you get a chance. Now, next on the list is one that I'm telling you, when I tell you I searched forever for this and finally got it. You know, again, I always talk about fragrance by .ca. It pops up from time to time. It's Dior Homme Parfum. And this is probably the second rendition of it. I think it got reformulated when all of the Dior Hommes got changed, and they started going another direction with the little logo. And the bottle design is still the same, but those that know. Now, this is just a beautiful iris fragrance. It is parfum concentration, and it is just full and strong and just memorable. Like, if you get a whiff of this when someone walks by you, you're definitely going to ask what are they wearing, because it's just that type of, it's that type of fragrance. Fragrance reviewer out of Dallas, I can't think of his name right now, but he talked about this and how provocative and seductive it was. And so, you know, I was like, I got to get this one, and finally was able to. This is like a 50 mil. Is it 50 mil? I think it's 50 or 75 mil. I can't remember, but this is kind of up there in price as well. Now I have something, and by the way, this fragrance is an iris fragrance, if you didn't know, but it has iris and some orange in it, and it also has leather and rose, sandalwood, musk, and agarwood, which is oud, and cedar. So it's very complex. It has some heavy notes in it. Definitely for your colder days, your winter months. So check it out when you get a chance. Now, I have something that's an alternative that may not be as expensive. Of course, it's not. I know it's not expensive, but this is Gary's Den by FOMO, and it's an aromatic spicy. It came out last year in 2023. And this is probably the closest thing, I guess, to my nose, that it kind of reminds me of Dior Homme Le Parfum. And it has, of course, it has your iris in it, but it has lavender and bergamot in the top. And in the mid, it has iris, labdanum, and cardamom, and coriander. And you guys know what I feel about cardamom. It's just that sexy note that just takes everything over the top. And it has some vanilla, vetiver, and musk, and patchouli in it. But this one is relatively expensive. I think I can't think of prices right now, but I think it's less than $40, somewhere around in that range. But if you can get this now, before the winter rolls around, get this, because you're probably not going to find Dior Homme Le Parfum. I can just tell you right now, it's probably sold out, or it's going to be hard to find. But this one, you should be able to find it. I would get this. So check this one out when you get a chance as well. Now, the next one is one of my coveted fragrances. I've had this probably since 2013, maybe a year earlier. I'm not sure. But this is YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme. And it's a woody spicy. Again, it's another cardamom fragrance. And I'm going to tell you, this version, this rendition is an earlier one. This right here pushes out. You literally need only 2 sprays. I mean, it's that strong. The current rendition of this is just, you know, it doesn't come close, in my opinion. I mean, you can still get it if you want to, but I just know that mine is like, it blows it out of the water, you know. So these older ones that come out earlier are always better for some reason. I don't know if the companies do that on purpose or not. I'm not sure. But this is Beast Mode. The one that's out now probably isn't. I wouldn't be able to tell because I didn't buy it, but I can tell you that I know that this is stronger. Now, I have the notes on the screen, but this one is a cardamom fragrance. So this is one that I would say that you need in your arsenal if you can find it. Now, I have an alternative. Always have an alternative as well. This is one that is, the notes aren't exactly like it, but it just reminds me of this. It's by Trussardi. It's called Riflesso, and it's an Oriental woody as well. And this one it has a little green apple and grapefruit in the top, but it just, the whole scent composition kind of reminds me of La Nuit. So if you want something similar, this would be a great alternative, and it definitely doesn't cost as much as La Nuit, but it's kind of in the ballpark of the scent profile. That's what I'm saying. So I just wanted to throw it out there to you guys that, you know, are cost conscious. That's what I try to do. And so I found out about this, I think through a Fragrantica comments or something of the sort, and I went out and got it, and I was like, man, this is actually pretty good. Again, the cardamom is what stands out in La Nuit, but the interesting thing is this one doesn't have any cardamom, as far as I can tell from the notes. but it smells very similar or familiar to me, you know. So check that one out when you get a chance. Now, let's see. Next up is one that I meant to review last year, but I just didn't get a chance, and everybody and their uncle reviewed this one. This is Lattafa's Camera. Now, this is supposed to be an inspiration or inspired by another fragrance, which is Killian's. What is the name of that? I can't even think of it right now for some reason, but Angel Share. That's it, Angel Share. And we actually own Angel Share, by the way. So it's inspired by it, but it does not smell like Angel Share. Now, some of these clones go after smelling exactly like the fragrance, but others are inspired by it. So the difference is the inspired by usually are, you know, have a twist or just a slightly different in a sense. And that's what this is. Now, even though it's inspired by it still stands on its own. Like it's that good. That's why it's usually sold out everywhere you can look. It's worth the money. And as you can see, it's a very nice looking bottle and design as well. Of course, the design is inspired by Angel Share. But still, I think this is one that you should add. Even if you have Angel Share, even if you have a clone of Angel Share, this is still one you should add to your collection. Because, you know, Lattafa has come out with a lot of good fragrances here lately in the past couple years. I mean, they're just getting better and better. Okay. Now, and I have the notes on the screen now. Speaking of this line, it came out with another one that is of the same line. Okay. But this is Lattafa's Camera Kawa. Now, the thing about this one, the interesting thing about this one is it has a coffee note. And the notes aren't exactly the same. However, when this one dries down, it smells just like the original Camera. You know, so even though the notes, this one I think has some ginger in it and has some cardamom in it as well. So it has a few different notes, but when it dries down, it literally smells the same as Camera. So if you know, I think you can get either or. It wouldn't hurt to get either or if you're looking for this scent, and you probably will find one or the other. I mean, they're just hard to get sometimes because they come out in waves. People buy them up and then it's out of stock. But this one has a coffee note. So if you're into that thing, get this one. Now, last but not least, we have Pandora Scents Two-Door. Now, this one, it's an EDP. Pandora Scents is an interesting house as well because, you know, I didn't even know anything about them. And a few years ago, they sent me out a couple. It was one called Tobacco Vanille, and I was blown away about how good it was. And I was like, man, this is a nice house. So this one is inspired by YSL Tuxedo. That one I do not own, but people told me that if I own this, I really don't need Tuxedo. But man, this one has like that type of scent that I like. It's like it has some pepper in it, and I'm gonna have the notes on the screen. It has some violet leaf, and so that's the thing. That's a note that really kind of stands out to me. That combination of the violet leaf and the black pepper and patchouli, and that slight hint of vanilla, just takes it over the top. And this is just one of those, I think, all around, you know, great fragrances that you could wear in any occasion. But it has that strength and that scent profile it's masculine. I think a woman can wear this as well, but just that violet leaf and that black pepper gives it a little sharpness, and that hint of vanilla just kind of rounds it off, and it's really nice. And this is another one that's inexpensive, that will get you noticed, and it doesn't break the bank at all. And I want to say they may have renamed this to something else. I'm not really sure, but just kind of look for it if you can. Pandora Scents Two-Door. And again, I'm not really sure if they renamed it or changed the name or not. But anyway, these are just 9 brown bangers. I mean, they all have that brown color that I really like when I see fragrances that, you know, you may not even know what they smell like, but you know they smell good. You know, people know what I'm talking about. But this is just 9 that I wanted to bring to you guys for the fall. That's gonna, when it gets a little cooler, these are gonna just really make you stand out and get noticed. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and peace.